All right, good evening, guys. Ken at Tortoise Capital, nightly strategy podcast for September 15th, 2023. Had trouble with the printer. I'll get the reports posted shortly after this meeting. We'll just do a quick review of the swing portfolio, 30 minutes. Covered the long position in Alcoa, initiated a short and took the 1 day intraday half an hour gain. AI, no trade. Amazon took a short on the collapse gap down for about 2 hours, closed it out with a dragon exit. Didn't want to hold that one short over the weekend. Closed the long in CAT on the adverse gap. Cliff initiated a short on a PSAR flip. That's about 1 hour in hand, and it closed weekly, so I like that one going into the next week. No trade in CVS. Dish Network covered the two position long. That was a really good trade. That's about an 8R, and then made that a stop and reverse on market weakness. That one is about 2R in hand, and really retraced half the distance on the really nice swing here. So Dish is really in play. Devon Energy took an intraday 1R on the collapsing dragon. Electronic Arts took the gap down, and I'm staying with that one short over the weekend with about 3R in hand because it violated the previous two levels of support here in collapsing dragon. So that was quite an amazing move. Emerging markets short on and going to hold that one over the weekend. On the PSAR flip, let's see, this is Ethereum. Still long the COTA 2 entry from yesterday. That was one of the few bright spots today on the long side. Mexico took the supported fall crossing and then a dragon exit for about 1R. Brazil covered the long position on the emerging dragon. Intel short on a collapsing dragon for half an hour. IP short on the supported fall crossing. PSAR flip closed very poorly, holding 2R. That's sort of the theme for the day. Covered the two position long in real estate. No further trades on it. No trade on regional banks after we closed. We basically scratched the long. There was an adverse gap. Mattel, no trade. Initiated the, well, first of all, closed the McDonald's long. That was an adverse gap. Was lucky to get out of that with a fractional win that was at one point up almost 4R yesterday. So that's one that got away. Then when it collapsed below the support level here, I just reversed, and that turned out to be about 4R and holding that one over the weekend. Merck closed at a scratch. Microsoft took an intraday collapsing dragon for 3R, but no overnight risk. Marijuana, no trade. 2Rs short in NVIDIA and dragon exit. Clean energy, we're about neutral on that one. I should have exited, I think. But energy's been weak, and this is when it will hold into the new week. Supported fall crossing. Rivian closed the long position on the COTA 2 for a fraction. You can see the pain and suffering of the S&P, and it closed very poorly. That was why I was willing to hold a lot of positions over the weekend on the short side, because I think there will be some selling pressure early Monday. Treasuries followed suit with 3 days of selling. Tesla exited at a scratch, the COTA 2 that just had no follow through, and U.S. Steel also started a emerging dragon yesterday, but on today's weakness just exited luckily at a scratch. Let's look for. Here's a quick look at the sniper trade. Let me put the screen on it, make it a little easier to focus. So that the blue box is the OR3. I bought the OR3 long. It ran up nicely, and we took a dragon exit for 1R. I took a COTA 2, lost an R immediately. Second COTA 2, lost half an R. Waited for the emerging dragon this time for a little more confirmation. They gained an R back. So we're about half an R and just kind of grinding. On a threat to the VWAP, and after the PSAR flip, and the whole market started showing weakness, we took the PSAR flip and a supported winter crossing short, second position on a new low for the day, and then exited at the PSAR. That was worth about 4. We picked up another 1.5 on a continuation when it resumed the fail. And so there was a total, once this thing finally got moving, there was a availability of about 6R in Dish Network. Take a look at the traders real quick. This is Hamad. Late. The story of today, I think, was for him was late entries, and over trading with too many targets. There was a span of control issue for him. So we're not gonna beat him up on that. But I generally concur with his insights all the way through. Yeah, I think he just got burned out and missed the 2 signals in here. That's a good follow through in Rivian. In Tesla, this stop and reverse should have been stopped and reversed much sooner in order to get that long side trade. We're going to jump ahead to Jose. So on broad weakness today, the SSCs that he's been working really hard didn't have as much follow through today as they did previously. Still makes a little bank on Gilead and on NVIDIA. On AMD as a scratch and a fraction in Fortinet, and locks in 1R on Hewlett Packard to make sure that he gets positive for the day. There were a few things that you'll see on the weekend report, although it's not printed yet. I wanted to just highlight. Here is a study I was doing on Tesla using the RLFF framework that I just wanted to illustrate some technique. So this is a daily chart, so this goes way back to, this looks like July of 2023. Let's get our pen working here. Yeah, so I want you to notice the importance of the RL90 and his turning points. So there's this one, and when that 270 rolls over, notice how you got that nice long slide. That ribbon acts as a, oh, I'm sorry, this is 30-minute charts. So this is helpful for the swing trader. You get a really strong directional bias, and then this turning point that takes about a week to bottom out. And then Tesla's actually been pretty good. So you got a turning point in the RL90 here, here. Now we're just getting ready at the 12 o'clock position here. So if this rolls over, then a return back to 250 in Tesla is indicated. So the RL90 is the health of the next higher trend. And so when it makes turning points on the 90, you want to pay attention because that has a chance to signal a turning point. Like here was the last time it tested. In this case, it voted down. After a rebound, it voted down. Here, it voted down. And so here, we don't know which direction it's going to go, but I just want you to be mindful that we're at a local turning point in Tesla. The one I want to highlight in here is the importance of the COTA 2, especially after like an SSC, which is what you get inside here. And now you have this leg. This is like the pocket entry on the COTA 2. Notice that this improvement was enough to make the RL270 get flat. It was down steep and then it got flat. So after one strong leg up, the COTA 2 or the emerging dragon, both of those signals allow you to participate in that upward move, which is a rejection of the previous trend. So we have to learn how to manage those turning points by watching the turning points in the RL90, watching what's happening to the slope of the 270 on any time frame. In this case, it happens to be on the 30-minute. But because this indicator is fractal, it's worth looking at on every time frame. When we look at the S&P now on dailies, I want you to notice that the 270, which turned here and has been pointing strongly up, is the signal is starting to decay because now you have the RL90 has gone flat, whereas it had 3 legs up. So here's 1, 2, 3, and now it's flattened out as a result of this little reaction. The troublesome part of this is that the peak of the dragon is downward. So that says this whole thing is at risk right in here, and that you have to have a strong stop right here at about, call that 439, because you cannot tolerate that. You don't want it coming all the way back to the support level at 410. So this is a really important critical state we have coming into shape right here. It's been a while since the market has stalled that much, but you have this and you have this. Well, the MACD histogram divergence is the same thing as this divergence because it's tracking the same. This is just a smoother version of that. So this is not additional information. It's a repetition of the information that's already visible up in here. That lower high is what makes this kind of a COTA 2 to the downside. So this picks the same thing. I just find it easier to see directly on the price portion. So let's be mindful of this as a critical state, and the fact that you got the dragon has already rolled over. This dragon has rolled over. The RL30 is getting ready to roll over. This is very close to an owl entry to the downside. This ribbon right here, which is a Bollinger Band on the 270 itself, acts as a buffer, but we're getting close to Collapse City. And if that fails, 420 is the target. Okay. All right. That's everything I got for today. I'm going to get I got to reset the computer and get the reports printed, and we'll get that posted here in about 20 minutes. So take good care, and we shall see you tomorrow.